Crimil's Dagger hand cannon is back in Destiny 2 the final shape, currently dropping from Iron Banner. It does come with new updated perks, so we're gonna see if it's any good this time around. So Guardians, let's get into it.
Yo, it's time to subscribe to Paid to Be Famous. What are you doing?
Subscribe to Paid to Be Famous.
Subscribe to Paid to Be Famous. Like the video, come on.
Hell
you know
yeah.
the drill.
Button.
And slap that like button.
So how do you get the Crimil's Dagger hand cannon? All you gotta do is compete in Iron Banner, and once you reach rank 7, you can go pick it up from Lord Saladin, and you'll be able to get it to drop as an endgame reward. Crimil's Dagger is a legendary kinetic hand cannon. It's an aggressive frame, high damage, high recoil, optimized for long distance shooting. Fires at 120 rounds per minute, and it does come with some basic origin traits. First up, we have Skulking Wolf. While at low health, Guardian final blows with this weapon grant advanced radar and remove you from opposing radar. And then you have Hake Breach armaments. This weapon deals increased damage against vehicles and constructs. Most people are going to opt for the Skulking Wolf origin trait. I don't really know anybody who uses Hake Breach armaments, but let me know down in the comments. Are you that weirdo using Hake Breach armaments? If so, what the is wrong with you? Now next up, we have to talk about the elephant in the room. How does this stack up against the Igneous Hammer, the best 120 in the game? Well, I hate to break it to you guys, but the Igneous Hammer outclasses the Crimil's Dagger in literally like every single category. It has less range, less stability, less handling, less reload speed, less airborne effectiveness, less aim assistance. Now granted, it isn't like a huge difference in these stats, so it isn't like night and day, but the big difference here is that the Igneous is in the energy slot and the Crimil's Dagger is in the kinetic slot, so it frees up your energy slot to use a different special weapon. So that is the plus side of using the Crimil's Dagger over the Igneous. Now looking at the first column of trait perks, you have Enlighten Action, Slideways, Air Trigger, Strategist, Moving Target, and Outlaw. Law states that precision kills greatly decrease the reload time. Then you have Moving Target, increases movement speed and target acquisition when moving while aiming down sights. It grants 10 aim assists while aiming down sights and decreases the ADS movement penalty by 10%. Moving Target is a really good perk to have in the Crucible. Gonna help you get that faster strafe speed, so you'll be harder for your opponent to hit you. Then next up, we have Strategist, a new perk. States that final blows with this weapon generate class ability energy. Activating your class ability briefly improves the weapon stability. Each weapon kill with this is going to give you 10% of your class ability energy back, and 120s aren't the most stable thing in the world, so getting that extra bump to your stability every time you activate Strategist is really nice. Then we have Air Trigger. It states that increased ammo reserves when airborne, accuracy and reload speed are increased, but target acquisition is decreased. I'm just gonna say a perk that takes away your target acquisition is never really good in my eyes. And I'm just not really a fan of perks that only activate or benefit you while you're in the air. When you're in the air, you're an easy target for everybody on the ground. I don't know why Bungie thinks that we're just gonna jump on all these perks that give you better airborne effectiveness. Nobody's choosing these perks. Bungie, stop with these perks. Move on, get over it. Nobody cares about these airborne effectiveness perks. Moving on from there, we have Slideways, not to be confused with Slide Shot. In my opinion, Slide Shot is much better. Slideways states that sliding partially reloads this weapon's magazine and temporarily boosts handling and stability. Sliding refills 15% of the magazine, and it grants 25 stability and 20 handling. This perk is nice, but Slide Shot would have been a lot better. Then up next, you have Enlighten Action. Dealing damage improves reload speed and handling. Weapon hits grant stacks of Enlighten Action for 2 seconds, up to 12 stacks. And since this is a hand cannon, one shot from the hand cannon grants you 3 stacks. And at a full 12 stacks, you're going to get 50 handling and 50 to your reload. Now, out of all these perks, I'm probably leaning towards Enlighten Action the most, just because these 120 hand cannons usually come with really low handling. The Crimil's Dagger is sitting at 31 base handling, so having Enlighten Action getting all that handling on it is going to make this gun feel really snappy and really light in your hands. I would definitely say go with Enlighten Action in this column, or Moving Target would be a good option as well. Now, moving on to the last column of trait perks, we have Kill Clip, Explosive Payload, Zen Moment, Opening Shot, Adagio, Precision Instrument. And let me just say, every single one of these perks is good in its own way. It just really depends on the player. First up, we have Kill Clip. Reloading after a kill grants increased damage. Upon finishing a reload within 3 seconds of a weapon kill, you get a 25% increase to damage for 5 seconds. Now, the base time to kill on the Crimil's Dagger is 1 second flat with 3 crits. And Guardian's tier 6 resilience or under, it's still going to be a 1 second second time to kill with 2 crits in one body. If you get kill clip active, guardians who are tier 10, it's still going to be a 1 second time to kill. It's just going to change it to 2 crits in one body. You will be able to 2-tap with kill clip, but the guardian has to be 5 resilience or under. So it can happen every now and again, but a lot of the best players in PvP are running a very high resilience, for the most part over 5 resilience, so the 2-tapping capabilities with kill clip is not going to be very consistent. Moving on from there, you have explosive payload. Projectiles create an area of effect detonation on impact. Now explosive payload is a decent perk on this hand cannon, especially if you want to flinch your opponents, but in the Crucible, Bungie did change something about explosive payload. I forgot exactly what it does, but this used to like pretty much extend the range a little bit, but it no longer does that. And at times where you were able to get the 3-tap, it's now taking 4 shots. So explosive payload nowadays is a hard sell. I would say pass on explosive payload unless you actually want to take this into PvE. If you're looking to use this in PvE, then I would definitely say explosive payload is the #1 pick in this column for PvE. Moving on from there, we have Zen Moment. Causing damage with this weapon reduces recoil and flinch over time, grants you flinch resistance, reduces visual weapon shake, reduces reticle bounce. There are a whole bunch of benefits to using Zen Moment, and like I said earlier in the video, these 120 hand cannons don't have a lot of stability. They kick up really high into the sky after every shot, so Zen Moment could actually be the play for you if you want to keep those follow-up shots lined up and easy to hit. Definitely don't be sleeping on Zen Moment. Then next up, you have Opening Shot. Improve accuracy and range on the opening shot of an attack. That first shot is going to get 20 plus aim assist and 25 range, 5% decreased accuracy cone size, and 10% decreased accuracy cone growth. I know I just threw out a lot of numbers there, but essentially it's going to make it really hard to miss a crit on that first shot. Opening Shot is a very nice perk, but it only counts for the first shot. There are other perks in this column that benefit you for every shot, so Opening Shot is a tough sell again. Then next up we have Adagio. Adagio is very interesting on this hand cannon. After defeating a target, this weapon fires more slowly and deals increased damage for a brief time. Adagio is going to give you a 30% increase to damage and a 20% longer firing time, and it's going to add 10 range. Now the reason I say Adagio is so interesting is because this will give you the 2-tap on tier 9 resilience guardians and under at a 0.6 time to kill, which is insanely fast for a 120 hand cannon. Whereas kill clip, you'd be able to get the 2-tap, but they gotta be resilience 5 or under. It's way more unlikely that you'll run into guardians with tier 10 resilience. Mainly it's just gonna be titans that are running 10 resilience. So Adagio is gonna be much more consistent in getting those 2-taps. And if you're like me, nothing gets you bricked more than seeing a 2-tap in the Crucible. The only downside to Adagio here is if they are tier 10 resilience, it's going to take 1 crit and 2 bodies, but it's going to have that slower fire rate, so it's going to be a 1.2 second time to kill, which is no bueno. Then last but not least, we have Precision Instrument. Precision Instrument states that dealing sustained damage increases precision damage. Now Precision Instrument is going to be the #1 pick for most PvP players. Although it increases the damage, it does not increase the time to kill. What it does is it actually adds forgiveness, because just at 1 stack of Precision Instrument, you will be able to 2 crit in 1 body, as opposed to needing 3 crits to down a guardian. The only time Precision Instrument is going to change the time to kill is at 5 stacks of Precision Instrument, and that will give you the 2-tap, but that's only on guardians tier 1 and under, so I definitely wouldn't rely on Precision Instrument for the 2-tapping capabilities, but for the forgiving part of it, for not requiring 3 crits. And when it comes to the masterwork, since this is a hand cannon, you definitely want to go with the range masterwork. And for the weapon mod, this only has 8 in the mag, so maybe a backup mag would work for you. If not, go with a targeting adjuster. So Guardians, I'm going to suggest 2 god rolls that are basically the same, just the last perk is different. The god roll I'm suggesting for you guys is going to be Hammerforged Rifling, Accurized Rounds, Enlighten Action, and Adagio with a range masterwork, so you can get those crispy 2-taps off. But if you want something that's just more consistent, maybe something just more for dueling, go with Precision Instrument in that last column. Either of those rolls are going to be pretty nasty in the Crucible. If you guys are new here and found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, leave a like if you enjoyed the content, follow me over on Twitch for the live streams, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.